Hi, welcome to Ecuador. Welcome to my channel. My name is Rob and I'm a coffeeholic. Last video I talked a little bit about International Coffee Day. If you weren't able to celebrate that, maybe this weekend you could buy a coffee for somebody or try a different coffee from a different coffee house. Experiment a little bit. Step out of the box. This video this week, I had acquired deep pulper, so I take the coffee cherries and run them through the machine and separate the beans from the pulp, and I find out if that machine is actually vegan. Time for introductions. Oh, look at that, there's a little lizard in here. Huh, that's funny. Anyways, this is the Bondtail M-B. And we're going to give this a wash today. Get this cleaned up. And there's some oiling holes here, lubricating spots I need to plug, and then I can just give it a wash. I got rid of any lawn mines, so I had to safe out my area, make sure it was okay. So the lawn mines are gone, and I clamped down the machine. I think I'd rather say I didn't have to do it rather than I should have done it. So that's not going to go anywhere. This machine is pretty basic. It comes from a member of our secret society coffee drinking club here, and we'll use the name Bob to protect the innocent. And he generously lent this to me for see how it works. So it's very simple, and berries go in here, the pulp and the juice and the liquids come out this side, and then on this side there's some hoppers, and the beans fall out of here into a tray. Simple. There's adjustments right here. There's like a gate on the inside here to adjust for the thickness of the size of the cherries. And he said there is a hopper that goes on here, so when you have 5-gallon pails of it to go in, it works better. Other than that, it's like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, there's not a lot here to go wrong. He figures that this thing's 70 plus years old. It's not very heavy. It's all cast aluminum. Looks like it was painted blue at one time. And that's about it. On the drums here, there's some like drainage holes that I'll have to make sure I get clean. I'll just power brush these with an angle grinder and a wire wheel. And I tried a little bit of it just to see how it worked. And that's about it, man. It's pretty simple, and sure thank him for lending me that tool. So I do have some coffee in the fridge that another fellow will use the name Jose for the Secret Society Coffee Club. And he's got about 20, 30 plants in his backyard. And he picked up all berries for me. You know, it's enough to give it a try and make sure it all works. And without those two, I couldn't be able to do this. So that's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna get this started. I'll go get the pressure washer out here and get set up and start cleaning. Let's get to it. Now I just let it sit on the dry cycle. And there's the grinder. You can hear him working on the tiles, I'm sure. But I'm sure you saw in the earlier video of the lizard doing a run for your life, run away thing on there. So I'm pretty confident now that there's no protein in there. So this is a vegan machine now. I think it's verified vegan, because there's nothing in here that I'm going to grind up and eat later or roast later. So now I'm just going to let this sit for a while, let it dry out, and get the water, some water out of it. Okay, the dry cycle is finished. Now we can get on to cleaning. And it shouldn't be too hard. So I've checked, there's no lawn mines, that's safe. Ear protection, eye protection. And let's get this done. Okay, I got these cleaned, and I saved you all along in repetitive work, but so all the rust is off. And then I was trying to figure out some way to clean it. I didn't want to use soap and water, I would just make it rusty again. So I put a rag together with some vegetable oil and started wiping it down, and it's pretty clean now, and hopefully it won't rust for a while. So I'm pretty well ready to go here. What do they call these things? For the oiling ports, they were plugged. So I stuck the pressure washer in there and blew out a lot of dirt, and was able to get some 3-in-1 oil in there, and it's seems to be running pretty smooth now. So next is set up the catchments on the back side and the front side for the liquids and the solids, and then the berries, the seeds on the back, the beans, and we'll see what happens.
I just noticed a hole in here, a wear hole, but that's okay. Yeah, so we're good to go. Have a coffee, and I'll come back out, set up the trays, and run some product through it. Alrighty, it's happening. Okay, here's the finished product. So I've clamped on that plywood underneath and put a pan sheet there to catch the solids and the liquids. And there's my screwdriver for adjusting the depth. I come around here, and here's the title of it, the Bon Tall. So, and there's the coffee beans that I have available to me that were gifted to me. And on this side, which no one has seen yet, I've been hiding it, is the chutes for the beans. So I have that bucket there to catch it, and it goes in, and this turns, kind of smashes it up. And this here is the plate, the adjustment plate. And that's it, man. Like, it's pretty simple. There's not a lot going on here. And then here's the grater, covered in buffed clean and covered in vegetable oil. And then theoretically it's supposed to all go down to that pan and catch it all. So here we are, the moment of truth. This is the Bon Tall Test 1, Take 1. You're going to see how this goes. So, I got my ammunition. And I give it a couple. And we launch. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Amazing. The Bon Tall. It's happening. Maybe a bit. Let's try this. No juice. I thought there'd be some liquid. It's happening. Let's put our fingers in there, huh? Yeah. This reminds me of the old washing machines, you know, the ringers on top. I remember my mom had one, and I thought it'd be a good idea to help her, and my hand went in there. Fortunately, there wasn't metal bars, and she was able to shut it off before anything really happened, but it was pretty scary. Obviously, I didn't learn anything from that experience. pretty cool. Alright. Oh, look at this. Okay. Well, there's one bean in here. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's a little bit of pulp in there, but not much. All right, I'm going to move the camera for you so you can get a different angle. Still got quite a few left. I see it's working. Now that's all done. I don't know if that's the right angle, but there is some pulp in there. But that'll easily be washed out. And then I'll put it outside to dry. Give it a few days. Hopefully it stays sunny. And it'll dry enough, and then I'll roast it. Quite a process to make coffee, and this is a fast track one, and only a small amount. So there's a lot to it. And there's all the pulp. And this I'm going to put in the dehydrator. It's basically cherry fruit. There's a few beans in there, but not many. And it is fruit, sweet. So there's a bunch of articles online about dehydrating this stuff and cooking with it. So that's the next step, is I'm going to dehydrate it and turn it into a powder, and then do some baking with it. I think this would be a really good material for making alcohol, possibly vodka or, beer, wine. But I think vodka would be brilliant because it's like a cherry. So that might happen down the road when I get a lot more quantity. But this is just an experiment. This is a test. Do not adjust your Google. Well, I took a break, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to save the skins, and these are going to go in the dehydrator. And I'm going to dehydrate these guys and turn this into some powder. Since I'm experimenting, there is no rules. And this should take probably a day, not even that. Tomorrow morning it'll be ready. And while I'm at it, I'm going to put the beans in there also, because this is a test and there is no rules. I'm sure that some people will have a hernia over this, but hey, maybe this is the way to do it. I have no idea. You know, I can put it out in the sun, but a little more controlled. I don't know if it's going to rain, and it'll get done a little quicker. That's the evil plan. Dehydrator. This will probably take a couple days. This will probably be overnight. It'll be interesting to see where this is tomorrow. All right, I'm going to wash this, put this in the dehydrator, and we'll get back to this tomorrow. Later. All right, so I'm going to leave it there for this week. I do have the beans sitting in elevation so that the little leg lifter here doesn't christen them. And the pulp was in the dehydrator. It took only a couple hours, if that, and it's dried. So next week we'll take the beans to another level, probably roast them next week. I have a very primitive roaster I'm going to use and work my way up to a little more technology. Now, on a different topic, I've mentioned earlier in this video about the secret society of coffee drinkers. And we had a meeting and we were discussing a name. And we were looking for something with an acronym in it, you know, something that worked. So one of the ideas that came on the table was Old Guys BS. So it'd be OGBS. We kind of went, okay, yeah, we can build on that, you know, let's work on it. Well, Sergio, he's a retired guy escaping the northern winters, and he's down here for the winter. And his English is so-so, and he has a little bit of a stutter. So he volunteered an idea, and he put it on the table as Old Guy Sucking Coffee. I says, pardon? Well, the redneck meter in the room blew up. Two guys start talking about hunting and fishing. This other guy's in the corner looking at the mirror, citing off hockey stats and scores. Well, all of a sudden, you know, things calmed down. We all started breathing normal again. Poor old Sergio's a little confused on why everyone kind of changed. So what we came to the conclusion was it was just a faux pas that, as I've probably done with my Spanish numerous times, has made way wrong words. That was good English, by the way. And everybody just kind of moved on. So we erased it from the minutes of the meeting, put it down as new business next week, name the club. So that's still in process. So I'm going to leave it there. I have some floral and fauna to finish off this video, and I'd like to thank you for coming along and sharing a cup of coffee with me here, and look forward to having another cup with you next week. So until next week, ciao for now.